What's up, Sandy? Thank you for the 5 months. Okay, so this is going to be the Battle for Bikini Bottom any % intermediate level tutorial. This tutorial assumes that you've already done some runs with the beginner route, so I'm not going to explain all the tricks and glitches that were explained in the first one. If you want to check that out, read the description of this video. The beginner tutorial will be there. Make sure you learn that first, do some runs with that, maybe get like a sub 130, sub 120. Whenever you feel like you want to add more strats and you're ready for the next step, this is the next step after the beginner tutorial. So again, don't jump the gun and learn the game with this tutorial. Learn with the beginner tutorial. Sorry, it's like 3 a.m. here. And then after you're done with the beginner tutorial, you can learn this one. And the splits will be available in the description as always. You can download them there. Alright, so we're going to start off not by saying no here, but saying yes. Choose a file you're okay with overwriting on your Xbox hard drive or your memory card. In this case, it's the first one, so I'm just going to click on that one. And on yes, we start the timer, right? Just like that. Just say yes and start the timer. Okay. So again, I'm not going to explain any of the stuff, the basic level stuff that you should already know, because you've already done runs of the game. This tutorial is catered to people who have already done runs of the game, so that's how we're going to do it. Also, at some point, you may want to remove your memory card. Not now, obviously, because you need it. If you're on GameCube or PS2, you're going to lose some time to saving screens, unfortunately. But it's going to save you a lot of frustration. The trick that I'm going to show you that is going to abuse the save screen. But again, like I'll let you know when it's okay to take your memory card out, alright? I'll let you know when. For the Xbox version, you're not going to be able to take out your memory card, because you don't have a memory card. It's an Xbox on the hard drive. So it doesn't matter though, because the saving screens on Xbox don't lose time, so it's okay, it's fine. Anyway, same as last time as well. Left number on the splits is the number of spatulas, right number on the splits is the number of sucks. Just pay attention to that and you'll be fine. Honestly, at this point, if you're already pretty experienced with running the game, you probably don't even need those numbers, but yeah. I just like to have them anyway. This part's really important, by the way. And again, like the routing in this tutorial is a bit more complex, so you gotta pay close attention. Pause during the saving screen there. If you pause after, it won't work. And go back to on top of the pineapple. Now, we're gonna get the underwear on top of Squid's house first, so we can get the Krab's warp. Don't get that spatula because you can't get it, or you're gonna deactivate the save glitch. Now, what this is doing here is it makes it so I can run out of bounds without getting grabbed by the hand, as long as the save game glitch is happening and I have the hand disabled. But yeah, make sure you have the hand disabled. Obviously, you would not be able to even get that spatula with a save glitch if you didn't have the hand disabled, so you're probably on the right track. Anyway, you just gotta walk all the way around downtown, just like this, out of bounds. This is my first time doing this in a really long time, so I'm probably gonna mess it up a little bit, but there's not really much to mess up, really. It's pretty easy. You just kind of walk around. But yeah, the reason why we're doing this is because we're gonna use some dream spatulas to, be able to enter Poseidon, and then that's gonna allow us to save downtown for later in the run, if that makes sense. Instead of doing downtown early, we're doing dream early. So we're just gonna walk around. I think I have to go around more this way, I think. Again, this is something that I don't personally do in runs, and I never have. So, I feel like, yeah, okay, here we are. So yeah, just keep walking around past these purple hills. And you should be able to get back into the map this way. This may seem ridiculously long and tedious, but trust me, this only loses a minute compared to the other strat, and the other strat is absolutely awful to learn, so don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's really not. And even with the minute you're losing to doing this, you are still saving so much time compared to the other route. Trust me. But in the advanced tutorial, I'm going to cover the next step after this. Not Eve, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. Alright, so now that you're over here, you've walked across, you've done the save glitch to get to the second hub area. We're going to do sponge ball storage to do this trick called RSS. Excuse me, not RSS. Roll buck. This trick sucks, just letting you know. It might take you some time to get down. I was debating on not including it in this tutorial, but here we are. And you gotta do some sponge ball storage to get up here and get stuck in the corner. What you're trying to do is build up momentum to slam against the wall and roll all the way up to the Chum Bucket. And then you're gonna use the wall to bounce off to the Chum Bucket. Now keep in mind, if you fall here, there's no actual way to recover this if you fall on the opposite side of the gate. So if you know you're gonna fail, make sure you come back to this side of the gate. Otherwise, you're just gonna end up falling over there, and you won't be able to get the spatula on top of the Chum Bucket. So that'd be pretty bad. So yeah, if you're practicing this trick, if you're afraid you're gonna miss it, you can always go inside of the tree dome to obtain the tree dome mission, so you can warp back to the tree dome. Like if you go inside the tree dome, you unlock the silver spatula for the tree dome ambush, so you can just warp there and walk out again. But yeah, we're gonna do this trick now. So pull into the corner, and once you're stuck in the corner like this, release and pull to the left. And once you go onto the side like here, push against the wall and keep pushing into it until you get on top of it. And once you hit against the wall over there, kind of pull to the right to get over here. I know it seems kind of complex, and I kind of screwed myself by doing this and not thinking ahead of time, because I can't get back over there to show it again. But this trick is very much feel based. There's not much more I can really say about it other than just like, make sure you're in the corner and let yourself fall down a little bit and push into the wall, and keep pushing into the wall even after you touch it, because even after you hit the wall, you still have control over the sponge ball. You can still push into the wall with the sponge ball after you collide with the wall, because that's what you have to do to get like stuck on the wall and then ride up it. But once you hit the wall at the top over there, like at the peak of the wall, you gotta pull to the right, so you bounce over the Chum Bucket, and then again, like the first tutorial, press B and then A to jump. So yeah, that's how you get on top of it. This trick is kind of difficult. This is probably the most difficult trick. Yeah, I would say this is definitely the most difficult trick you're going to encounter in this tutorial. So if you get past this, you're good to go. It doesn't get much harder than that, honestly. But yeah, it's going to take you a long time to get down, I think. But because you're an intermediate player, you're ready for it, so that's cool. You should be good to go. Alright, so now that you've done this, you're going to pause the game and scroll down to Cal Bungee, okay? So again, the reason why we do this after is because we need to have the save glitch active in the beginning. And if you collect the spatula during the save glitch goes away. So you want the first thing you do after doing the first thing you do after collecting the Cal Bungee spatula is to warp back to Bikini Bottom and walk around, because if you do it after you collect another spatula, like say the one up here, the save glitch is not going to work. So you have to do it in this order, otherwise the route does not work. Just doing the same stuff you guys learned last time here. Now, differently in this tutorial, we're not going to stop after this part. We're going to actually do a trick called Dilemma Skip. And we're going to do this part of Dilemma early. Alright. Sound good? Okay. So, again, much like the other tutorial, we're going to collect the sock in here. I think we got the sock in here. Either way, it doesn't matter. because we're doing a new tutorial now. Get both of these socks, and make sure you open this box. And the trigger for the cutscene skip is like on this little vertice right here, so just like jump over the ledge and touch it. And now I'm going to play a video that shows you how to do dilemma skip. So we'll do that right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrun tutorial series. Today I'm going to show you how to do Patrick's Dilemma skip, which skips the fighting segment at the beginning of Jellyfish Caves. When you first enter this level, you're going to want to collect the 2 socks before the fight. To get the first, jump onto the sledge while sliding and continue to find it later into the passage. For the second, space 2 full jumps to get on the edge of this tall platform. To maximize your jumps, hold down the jump button for both jumps rather than just tapping it. This will allow you to collect the second sock. Before starting the actual trick, remember to open this box as you'll need to travel in it later. Now jump off of this ledge over the goo in this spot, and you'll activate the cutscene trigger for Patrick's Dilemma. This is done so you drown during the cutscene, which skips the whole thing. When you respawn, walk around the left side of the checkpoint and make your way up to the top platform. Now before we cover the boost, I want to draw attention to how far SpongeBob can walk off this ledge while maintaining the ability to perform grounded moves. As shown here, even walking off the ledge this far allows SpongeBob to bash. You won't need to walk this far off for the trick, but it's good to keep in mind how much leeway there is when performing it. A lot of players fear walking off the ledge and drowning without realizing how much leniency there is for the bash timing, so don't be afraid to walk off the ledge slightly to set up the bash. So let's start talking about the boost. When you reach the top platform, start walking along the backside of the Duplicatotron robot and hit it with a bubble spin around this point when you walk by. Now once you hit this, you set the trick into motion, so keep in mind that you must continue without hesitation after you do this. Walk to make SpongeBob's back perpendicular to the back of the Duplicatotron. If you take a look at this diagram, you'll understand what I mean. Imagine the backside of the robot trying to cut SpongeBob in half. Now this is the part where walking off the ledge comes into play. Walk off the ledge with your back perpendicular to the back of this robot to about this point, just slightly off. Then use the bubble bash off the ledge. When you notice you reach the peak of your height, input a bubble bounce. If you time this correctly in one motion, you should be hit by a blast at the highest possible point. Now as soon as you regain the ability to jump, hold down the A button to perform a double jump and push toward the ledge. If you time this well, you should grab the edge, where you can then make your way to the Patrick text box trigger to finish skipping the fight. You may accidentally input a jump on the first frame of activity after taking damage. This frame perfect jump will give you the first and second jump to get over the ledge. However, I don't recommend attempting to go for the single frame in runs. If you're too early, a jump won't come out and you'll just drown. You still want to do it as early as possible, but if you do it too early, you'll just fall into the goo without jumping. Dilemma skip has become less common in beginner routes for the speedrun. However, if you get it down consistently, it's a good option for a fast spatula before Industrial Park. If you can't seem to get it, it's not a big deal. Just do Patrick's Dilemma later by jumping over the ledges once you've acquired the ability to cruise boost. If you have any questions about this skip, ask away in the comments section or visit my Twitch channel to ask me for advice during my live streams. I'll leave the link to my channel in the description. Subscribe here. Alright, well I was probably going on about like following the Twitch channel or whatever. Ignore the thing about the Cruise Boost Dilemma. Cruise Boost Dilemma is not going to be used in this category for this route, so don't worry about it. You guys are graduated from that now. Okay. 6 and 3, we're good to go. Now you're going to pause the game and warp up to on top of the Chum Bucket. That's the next split we're going to. So I'm going over there. And we're going to talk to Mr. Krabs, but do not go into the Krusty Krab. Again, this category has a lot of complex routing in it, so you gotta like follow along and make sure you're doing the right stuff at the right time. Alright, so now we're going to teach you guys how to do Super Bounce Skip without the bubble ball. It's not going to be easy, but pretty much what you want to do is space the jump so you can go on top of this block, push forward, and jump on this trampoline to get on top. So now you know what it looks like. Let's do it again. Okay, so one of the biggest things that people do wrong here is they push forward into the spike block as they're going up. When they land on the spike block, they just kind of like push forward into it. And I'll show you what it looks like. You see what happened there? So the spike blocks don't just have hurt boxes or hit boxes on the top of the spikes. They're also on the sides as well. The entire spike itself is a hitbox. So you can't touch the spikes. What you want to do is push into the block just far enough so that you land on it. But once you land, you have to recognize that you landed. And again, if you don't jump early enough, you're going to fall like that, like I just did there. If you push forward before you're over the spike block, so again, like say this is the block, right? This is the block. You land on it, and say the spikes are like, say this is like, can you even see this? Like this little knuckle is like a spike. If you jump up and push forward into the spike, you get knocked off. You want to make sure that you're above the spike before you push forward. Does that make sense? Yeah, you want to jump from the edge here. Space 2 fully press down double jumps, push into it. Another thing too is a lot of people messes up as well when they try to react to landing on the block. And what I mean by that is like you wait until you have like a visual cue of landing on the block and you're like, okay, I've landed on the block, I'm going to jump now. You can't really do that with this trick. You have to be able to anticipate landing on it. You can't just like, if you're doing this, you can't really just eyeball it and say like, okay, I landed on the block now I can jump. Because by the time your brain reacts to landing on the block, it's already too late to jump. So again, 2 things you have to remember for this trick. Make sure, 3 things actually. Make sure you're facing head on in a straight line. 2 full double jumps. Anticipate the jump. Don't push forward until you're over the spike block. And again, this one might take you a little bit of time to get down. It's not one of the easier tricks, so yeah. Just make sure you take that advice. The spikes have hitboxes all around, and you will fall on the block if you don't anticipate jumping on it first. And make sure that you're spacing 2 full double jumps head on. Draw as straight of a line as possible to the side of the block. The side of the block that I landed on, at least. Just try to copy what I do and record yourself doing it if you have trouble with it, and compare it to what I just did and see how your gameplay compares. Okay. Repix, thank you for the 16 months, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome back. My bad. Welcome aboard to a 16-month sub. Yeah, okay. Alright, so next, after getting that spatula, you're going to go into Squidward's Dream. But as soon as you get in here, you're going to pause the game and warp back to the first area here. Alright, so this next trick is called Oil Skip. And yeah, you're going to have to learn this at some point, so I might as well learn it now. It's one of the harder tricks in the run, but it's not that bad. So you're going to do that block. You're going to climb up the blocks like I did there. You climb up and stand between these two rocks over here. Again, I'm not going to show you the full thing right now. I'm just going to show you. You see how I'm standing with these rocks? These 2 rocks are kind of like cutting through me. The 2 rocks I'm standing between, the little tiny ones. Again, like I have to go up there and show you again, but yeah. You're gonna stand. You gotta climb up the blocks just like this. For some reason, he was. I think that's because I forgot to reload, maybe. Yeah, if you reload the game, it shouldn't happen like that, though. You want to stand between the 2 rocks when you get up here. That's the first step. Now, once you're just like this, you gotta listen for him to shoot the oil bubble like you just did there. You hear the little sound? Once you hear the sound, walk forward, do a full jump, slam. That's what it looks like when it's complete. Now, I'll break that down for you. One of the things that again, this is the motion, pretty much. Like, pretend this is like we're there right now, between the 2 rocks. Walk forward. Full jump, slam. And then once you slam, you can mash the Y button until you get it to bash out. That's what I do, is I mash it. If not, you can also time it. That's also fine too. But just remember, if you're doing this as opposed to this, Do you see the difference there? If you panic and you like start moving forward and jumping and stuff, you see how SpongeBob, when he's slamming, you can control which way he slams. You can move forward with the slam if you push forward with it. So when you do this and you slam and you're moving at the same time, you're really misaligning yourself. You cannot align yourself accurately unless you move forward in one motion, jump up in one motion, and slam in another. So again, it's multi-step. You can't rush it. If you do shit like this, you're not going to be able to get it. So yeah, line it up just like this. Walk forward until you're in front of this rock. Full jump, slam, and then you mash Y to get over. Now we're going to do that in full motion. And again, oil skip is one of the harder tricks, so you're going to have some trouble getting it at first, I'm sure. But you'll get over it, trust me. Once you get past Bikini Bottom and Dream, the run gets a lot easier to learn for an intermediate tutorial. Sound cue, walk forward, slam. And I'm not really sure what happened that time. I guess I wasn't mashing fast enough. Sometimes the ledges don't work, but it's pretty rare when that happens. It's a very consistent trick if you know how to do it. Just like that. This is definitely another trick you might want to like record yourself doing and like compare it. I'm gonna leave links in the Discord. Excuse me. I'm gonna leave links in the description as well to the Discord server for this game. You can feel free to ask questions there too. People are glad to help you if you download Discord and do all that. All right. So now that we have collected this spatula, you want to pause the game and go to Super Bounce, and we're just gonna do the Sandy's Dream run around that you've seen before. Nothing new here. And Waffle, thank you for the host, man. Yeah, we don't need to have chat on screen for this, really. Okay, after this, we should have 10 and 3. There's a specific spot where you jump into. You can check out the tutorial playlist here. I made a video on it you can check out. But anyway, 10 and 3, we're good to go. Pause the game and warp to Bikini Bottom.
Oh, I'm quick!
Now we're going to climb the pineapple and go to Squidward's house after that, so. As a matter of fact, you can actually just warp, like if you're down here at Dream, you can just scroll down and warp to Mr. Krabs. By the way, for long scrolling sections, what you want to do is you can alternate analog sticks to have faster menuing. So, can you see that? That's how people menu quickly in this game. It's like they alternate it. Like that. So you can alternate menus to menu faster if you are going up and down the menu pretty quickly. So, yeah, just go straight to the pineapple and get the spatula. Remember, the reason why we didn't get this earlier is because if you get this after activating after activating the save glitch, you can't do Robo Sandy skip or RSS. If you collect the spatula before going out of bounds. So that's why we're doing this now. Jump down and get the Squidward spatula for jumping 10 times. What's up, Jeff? How you doing, man? All right. Yeah, most of this is going to be pretty much the same until... Yeah, we're just going to do Sponge Glide. Deciding if I want to go over some of the smaller, more risky time saves. I think for now, we'll leave that more to the advanced tutorial, I'd say. But yeah, if you watch the beginner tutorial, you should already know how to do the stuff that's coming up here. Just remember to get the warp from Larry because we still need that. Nah, I'm not interested in speedrunning the movie game, sorry. Alright. I think this is pretty similar to what we do in the other one, but just to make sure, I'm not going to tell you to skip ahead, because just watch what I'm doing to make sure that it's, like, yeah, just make sure you're doing what I'm doing. Pretty much it. It's convenient for you guys that you already know how to do a lot of this stuff to save you time watching this, the route updating video. That's essentially what this is. It's just like, this is kind of like DLC, you know, you just like, you're downloading more information, but the rest of the game is still there that you already learned. That made no fucking sense, but it made sense when I thought of it, so, yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
By the way, I am going to go over Robo-Sandy manips in this, which are pretty helpful. So we're going to go over those. I'm not going to go into crazy detail because it's pretty field-based, but yeah. We're going to talk about the squirrel destruction level. Squirrel fight. Alright, 15 and 4, good to go. Pause the game. Use alternating menuing strats to go to Patrick and then...
Oh, I'm quick!
Alright. So, Poseidon. First rule of Poseidon, I might have covered this the last time. For the first phase, if you approach her in the center of the ring, she jumps at you. Now, what you want to try to do is time your slams. See how she's here in the center? You want, for the first phase, you want to time your slams. Approach her and slam just as she slams. So you're gonna have to get used to the timing for this. If you slam too early, you might get hurt or nothing happens. If you slam too late, you're losing time. So just get used to it. Try to optimize that muscle memory on your own. But pretty much for this, the first phase, keep her in the center of the ring and kind of just walk her around. You know, give her the work around. Keep her in the center. Now, after this, you want to stand between the underwear and the center, between the fish, like the fish is in view on the right here, yeah, so between that pair of underwear and the center, alright? Now, you're going to lure her to go to the corner on the right side, so when she gets baited into it, she just kind of runs into the trigger and goes off the side. And make sure you're slamming over here in the center of the ring when you bait her to stand there. Again, all the spots I'm standing in are pretty important. I'm going to go over this again one more time, but I'm going to go talk about more of the detailed stuff. You have to make her run around here, so she's on the edge of the logo over there. And again, get her to come to the right side. That time I messed it up because I was trying to show it. I was trying to demonstrate it in an easily digestible way. Again, it's not as simple as it looks. If it messes up like that, you can just stand in the center here, on the side there. Yeah, standing on the side is where you want to be, so the head falls off and attracts to the box. I just missed this throw. I don't know how they have the world record in this game, if I'm messing these things up. Alright, so... Again, like, kind of make her walk around here. Lure her over to be more on the right side of the ring. Get her to run into the side like that, yeah. And then walk all the way up here, stand on this here, and get her to land on you. Slam in the center so it goes over here. Simple phase, again, you just gotta give it a try for yourself. This is a very, you can teach this to yourself pretty easily, honestly. This phase is a little bit different, though. Where this part of the manipulation is the same. However, Instead of standing here, you're gonna stand here on this little column thing. And again, time the slam. If you slam too early, I mean not the slam, time the bash. If you bash too early, nothing happens, so you have to wait for it to kind of move over. I'll demonstrate that too. Again, for this phase, you want to stand here. For the previous phase, you were here. You were on this side, but now you want to stand here. See what happens when I do this too early. That actually wasn't too early. That was actually pretty good. But yeah, if you do it too early, nothing happens. So just know that. But yeah, second phase here, third phase here.
Oh, I'm quick.
All right. Now we're gonna go to the tree dome. I just made a split for it so you remember. Tree dome fight. There are a lot of things that you have to know for this fight, but you'll figure them out as you go along, really. Pretty much if this robot spawns on the picnic table, I always hit it behind to get it more like in view later. Keep in mind things that are spawning behind you so you don't have to backtrack for them. I missed the bowling shot. That's not good. That's why things were spawning. So if that happens, you can hit that tiki to blow up the robots over there. Try to collateral all these. See how I hit this guy down here? Well, sometimes with the guys behind the picnic bench, you can hit him into the other guy. There are a lot of strats you gotta know for this fight to make it consistent, but you'll get the hang of them. So once you beat the tree dome, pause the game, and warp 2, clean out the bumper boats and Goo Lagoon.
Oh, I'm quick.
Okay, so now we're gonna do the SBA thing again, and this time, actually, let me show you a video again. Yeah, let me show you a video. Hold on. This is gonna explain how to do SBA 30. I said I wasn't going to cover things that were already explained, but this was actually a strat that was found after the first tutorial was published, so even if you're a beginner, highly recommend learning the 30, because the 30 is way, way easier, and it's way faster, so definitely consider that. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. I'm trying to find it. Alright, now we're gonna play a YouTube video. That's what we're gonna do. All right. All right, so this is my SBA 30 tutorial. SBA in the 30 setup instead of the 10. So to start off, you want to kind of stand on the left side of this pillar and face the tiki, and walk forward slowly and mash the grab button to grab the tiki off the ledge. You can get rid of that robot if he's just bothering you, by the way. Sometimes, like getting rid of the hammer before you start. Sometimes getting rid of the hammer before you start walking can make it easier to bring the tikis across. But make sure when you throw this on this over here, on this platform, get it pretty far to the left so when you come back with the next one, they don't accidentally stack. Because if they auto-target and stack, then you're in trouble because you can't Like, most of the time you can't separate them. Let me just do this first, just so there's no confusion, because the tutorial there starts at a different spot. So let me just show you the route first, just so you don't get confused. Okay, so starting from the beginning, you warp to clean out the bumper boats, jump in the box, and you gotta destroy all of the dudes here. Now, differently, I don't think this was covered last time, but we're gonna get this sock on top of the food and drink stand. Use this to push us over here. Alright, now you can jump across. I think I actually did cover this. You can jump across here if you like space your jumps properly. Alright, so now I'm gonna start the tutorial again, so you can watch it this time, okay? Alright, so this is my SBA 30 tutorial. SBA in the 30 setup instead of the 10. So to start off, you want to kind of stand on the left side of this pillar and face the tiki, and walk forward slowly and mash the grab button to grab the tiki off the ledge. You can get rid of that robot if he's just bothering you, by the way. Sometimes, like getting rid of the hammer before you start. Sometimes getting rid of the hammer before you start walking can make it easier to bring the tikis across, but make sure when you throw this on this over here, on this platform, get it pretty far to the left so when you come back with the next one, they don't accidentally stack. Because if they auto-target and stack, then you're in trouble because you can't, like, most of the time you can't separate them. But yeah, just do this twice. The throws onto the platforms aren't really precise, you just gotta get used to them. It's kind of weird though, because the platforms do rock back and forth, so you gotta get used to that too. But yeah, just chuck them over. You gotta get used to the platform spacing, like where you should be if the platform rocks a certain way. It's not that bad. I'm making it sound harder than it actually is. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you guys a setup that works pretty much every time, unless something really weird happens. So walk forward on this platform, this ramp here, and try to line up the tiki with 3 holes in the front of me. See that? They're lined up. You want to get them like exactly straight, as straight as possible. And then once you think it's straight enough, let me just get it like that. Throw it, and it'll sink into the hole. Now jump in. Oh, by the way, you have to disable the hand to do this. I'll show you how to do that after this video in case you don't know how to do that. But you want to then, when you're inside of the skee ball machine, get in front of the tiki. Try to line up the tiki with 3 holes again and get Patrick to line up them as well. Kind of like this. Stop moving so I can see. Kind of like this. And then throw it. And it should get stuck. There you go. Alright, so tiki is now stuck in the hole. And now you can grab the second tiki and do the same throw, but make sure that you're facing, make sure the tikis are standing on as top of each other as possible. Not really too crooked, because if it's too crooked it might not work. So again, like it could still work, but you want to try to get it as perfect as possible to decrease the likelihood of it not working. So this is what you want to see right here. Kind of just flat like that. Take a look inside, see they're like kind of on top of each other. Alright, so now we're gonna get the ball stuck in the hole. Thank you, Jimmy, for the 3 months, dude. Alright, so to start off, you want to grab the sledge. Sometimes you'll grab the sides like this. Trying to do it like that, but you can just keep trying to get it. You'll get it eventually, like that. A good way to set it up is like standing in the hole and doing like 2 little jumps just to do that, so you can't grab the sides. Like 2 little tiny jumps, and just tap the B button, and that's it. That's all you do. It's that easy. Give me some 30s, boys. Show them your 30s. Alright, so I went ahead and did it just to speed things up. Alright, so differently in this route, We're not going to be getting the sock. I don't think we did get that sock over there. Maybe we did. I don't remember. But yeah, we're not doing that this time. Just purchase this clam here. Now, the number you're looking for here, you want to have like, I don't know, like 50,000. 50,000 is probably fine. Safe enough. You want to time it though, so when you get on the slide, you it's like pause the game. 26, yeah, you're not gonna have enough. Just kind of wait around for a little bit. If you don't, the one that I got isn't really that great. You can get a much better, much faster ones that go like twice as fast as this. In which case you wouldn't have to wait, but yeah, mine was kind of bad. All right, so we're getting to the, we're getting to the point where we're getting ready to go. So yeah, maybe just go right about now. Alright, so if you don't have enough, what you can also do is like, you can kind of jump out here, and it keeps going. That's one way of recovering it. If it's way, way deep, you can do this and slam and die. If you, because you'll still die and you'll collect them as you die, so that's another way of doing it as well. So that's if you don't have enough. So yeah, now that we have all the shinies, you want to pause the game. You want to go to like 45k. 45k-ish is pretty safe. 45k, 50k is fine as well. 50k might be excessive, but depending on how good it is, depending on how good your setup was, you might not even wait that much longer for it. So now you have 20, 45, 25 and 45k, 20 spatulas, 5 socks. Pause the game and scroll down to Mr. Krabs. Actually, no. Okay. From Goo Lagoon, you're gonna scroll to on top of Shady Shoals. That's what you're gonna do. All right. A thought in my head came that you might actually encounter the Krabs glitch here, where you can't talk to him. Let me try to replicate that. Hold on. Okay, it works. Yeah. So from after the Goo Lagoon segment, pause the game and warp to on top of Shady Shoals.
So that.
And from here, you're gonna soul that 8 times. So you're gonna get 8 of these spatulas.
That.
I forgot the split.
Oh, I'm quick.
Split when you warp to on top of Shady Shoals, okay? It's like when you warp here, split on the pedal, yeah. Okay.
So that.
And you guys already did runs of the first route, so you understand.
That. So that. So that. So that.
All right, so you have more than enough right now, actually. All right, so get the sock from hitting the statue, the little fountain thing. All right. There's a little cute thing you can do here if you If you press the A button on the first frame that SpongeBob leaves his damage animation, you can get a little 1-frame jump there. It's not necessary, but you can do it for to save a second or so. It's not a big deal. Alright. Again.
The mem.
A lot of this is going to be pretty similar. But, I mean, you guys already know. You guys already know if you've done runs of the game, you understand how to do this stuff. The only difference here is that you can walk around the other side of the TV and not talk to Mermaid Man before you start the challenge. If you want to save like 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds. 0.5. 1/2 of a second. Not 5 seconds. Jeez. That'd be crazy. Yeah, it saves half a second to not talk to Mermaid Man there. However, if you don't talk to him, you gotta be pretty sure you're not gonna fall. Because if you do fall, you gotta start from the beginning of this level and warp to this mission over here, the silver one. So yeah, if you think there's a chance you're gonna fall, for sure, definitely get the warp. But if you know you're not gonna fall, save that half second. You can only get 8 spatulas from Mr. Krabs. It stops at 8. Unless you use duplication glitches, which are not viable in this category. Again, a lot of this stuff was covered in the first tutorial. Mermalair is pretty similar. Oops.
I wonder what this does.
Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a pretty short one too, because of, you know, just because of like a lot of the stuff that we're going over is stuff that people already know. So there's no sense in explaining it twice, you know.
Where's all the secret?
Did the beginner route cover prawn skip? I don't remember if it did. I think it did. It did, okay. Did it cover Dutchman skip?
Double money.
Yo, Annoyed Gamer, thank you for the tier 2 for 6 months. What's up, man? No Dutchman skip? Okay. I'll cover that then. But yeah, this Mermalair is pretty... It's kind of just is what it is, you know? In any percent categories, like no SBA and any percent, it kind of just is what it is. Doesn't really change too much. NG Plus Mermalair is fire though. It's so good. Alright, so now it's time for Sand Mountain. Interestingly, okay, we're gonna actually warp to on top of Shady Shoals again.
Oh, I'm quick.
Interestingly, this time we're gonna have to watch this cutscene. Unfortunately. This is because we didn't use this to get on top of the Chum Bucket. So we didn't use it to get on top of the Chum Bucket up until this point, so we're just using it now. Alright. Now for this sock over here, if you land on the ice and hit this and spin like as you land on it, I messed it up. But what you can do is like kind of like this, where you just like you land and you spin, and it pushes you forward. So you can do that to save a second. It is RNG though. Whether the kids like obstruct your path is RNG. And it's actually pretty relevant too, like, it's pretty common RNG. But yeah, if you're way over in shiny objects, don't worry about hitting anything here. It's not important. Just make sure that you get all 3 socks on the slope and you should be good to go. If you let go your control stick when you land on that ice, you can get a little bit of a slide like I did there. You just can't give any analog input. And of course the bowling ramp shot you can use to duplicate a Tron. So that's updated strat. But yeah, switch to Sandy there, and now we can make our way over to get the rest of the spatulas in here. You can do it this way, or you can do a swing stall to give yourself more height. Either one works. If you want to step on these little things over here, if you need them, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you happen to fall here or get hit by the chuck, you can just pause the game and warp to top of the lodge if you want to. But yeah, you have 39 and 10, which means that we're ready to go to Krusty Krab. So pause the game, scroll up to Bikini Bottom to the silver spatula infestation of the Krusty Krab.
Oh, I'm quick.
Alright, so again, this is like similar to Tree Dome where you gotta just be strategic. Most people get tripped up on the top platform here. You just gotta be quick. You gotta be quick and you can get him pretty easily. Be wary of the chuck. Sometimes if he spawns too far away from the Thunder Tiki, it's kind of hard to get him later. And jump down to the bottom floor. And don't die. Now you destroyed all the robots, pause the game, warp to Bikini Bottom. Any level will do as long as it's in the main hub. World, like outside. Outside in the main hub. Just warp to on top of the pineapple, it's easy.
Oh, I'm
Split
quick.
the game. Hit that split. And now you have 40 spatulas, which means you can go to Industrial Park. Enter through the back of the gate over here. Well, it's going pretty well so far, Cake. So far, not too many mistakes. I had a rough start at first, trying to get the jellyfish route to work. But yeah, it's good so far. Oh, I forgot to mention, after you're done with the save glitch, after you collect the spatula on top of the Chum Bucket, you can feel free to remove your memory card if you're playing on GameCube or PS2 to save yourself some time from loading screens. Alright, so yeah, once you're off of the I'll try to put this in the description too if I remember. Once the save glitch is gone, you can feel free to remove your credit card. You can feel free to remove your memory card once the save glitch is gone. Man, I'm so tired. But yeah, that's correct though.
Ow! I guess SpongeBob won't be winning that way. Now the robot's taking a beating out there.
Feel free to remove your credit card once you've spent money on the game. Yeah. Once you decide to use your Xbox as a dope hiding place, put some dope in there.
Now the robot is taking a beating out there.
All right, so
to get SpongeBob unfrozen.
again, like grabbing these swingers make the boxes drop. Phase 1, this doesn't really matter much because, you know, there's no goo. The only two that matter are the ones that are right in the front. So I always swing stall there to knock down as many as possible. So that way when he goes back to the center, these boxes are here. So you can do the thing where you interrupt his vomit cycle on these boxes. So again, your goal here is to get the boxes to land there and stay there when he starts falling. So when he falls and he does it again, you can be on those boxes and save a little bit of time. What's up, man, dude? That sucks. I'd go back to bed and just sleep if I were you, because that's what I would do right now if I weren't streaming, honestly. I'm so tired. Remember, you can grab swingers from, like, a lot of weird places, too, so.
One more douse with that stuff.
Also, yeah, just, like, if the boxes don't fall, just stand here. Don't try to be, don't try to be a god and, like, get the boxes to spawn last minute. It's not worth it. If you drown, you lose so much time here.
And around you go. That does it.
Now for this, you can kind of go out here and slam just to get hit. If you drown there by accident, it's not a big deal. You don't lose much time if you drown in that specific part. Alright, so I'm going to teach you basic level manipulations. So if you stand here, when he does his spinning move, this is probably the easiest manipulation and it works sometimes. Either he's going to land in the front or land in the back. Usually stand like right here, just in case he lands in either of them. You land it right here, that's pretty good. Now, you can do the same thing over here too. But yeah, going back and forth like this makes him a lot more predictable. These are very basic level manipulations too. So yeah, they're not super reliable, but yeah, it's a good way to get yourself warmed up to understanding how these work, so you can do the harder ones later.
That's the ticket.
Because if you're doing the hard ones, your movement has to be really, really good to utilize it. So I'm just teaching you the easier ones. Get on the edge of the platform. After you start spinning, you can start running. Sometimes you land in the back, sometimes you land in the front. I find that the back and front on this side of the stage are the most common for this manipulation strat. See how you land in the back there? Yeah.
A prime bowling moment right here. The robot better check.
Oh, I'm quick.
Yep. Alright. So now you can pause the game, go to Shady Shoals. If you're on GameCube or PS2, you can just walk up and use the sponge ball to go to rock bottom, but on Xbox, pause the game, warp to Shady Shoals. Yeah, this is this level is cut down a lot in this run. It's cut down a ton. Just letting you know. So we're gonna go around this way this time. And oh, excuse me, I wasn't supposed to get rid of my bowling shot there. Okay, let's start over. Let's start over. Alright, so you enter rock bottom, right? Okay, cool. Get the cruise boost, go around. Just make sure you're paying attention to the routing and the movement, because it's all important. That specifically was not intentional. Don't worry about that. We get this sock in here too. Okay, for this, what you can do is like unlock both boxes by bashing into them. That's one way of doing it. That's honestly fine for now, as intermediate, because you can just get the spatula that way. It's literally free. So once you get that spatula, pause the game and go to get to the museum. Now walk over here by this little pothole explosion thing from a missile. And you're gonna hit the button and do your slip sliding away. And get a couple of get the cruise boost. Yeah, get like right here maybe. Get a couple of socks down here. Now once you get the spatula, pause the game and warp to, oh excuse me, pause the game and warp to the second spatula, slip sliding away. Do that. Now we're gonna go backtrack and get these. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about a spatula in here. I totally forgot about this spatula. Well, honestly, we have 45 and 13 now, don't we? I feel like this is fine. Actually, what I'm gonna do is, hold on. Okay, there's gonna be a blank split in here. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna delete it before I upload. I'm gonna delete the blank split. All right. So up until this point, we're all good. The only difference is that we need to end this level with 46 spatulas instead of 45. So we're gonna pause the game when we get that spatula. Warp to the Trench of Advanced Darkness, and we're going to get a cruise boost over here. Use our bashing strats to get all the way up here. Now, you're gonna use the spin attack to kill your downward momentum. Run off the edge, double jump spin, slam, hopefully get on. Once you get it, you're good to go. I think I covered that in the first tutorial. Pretty sure I did. I think I did cover that, didn't I? But yeah, it's just jump spacing. I'll show it again. Just I did cover it. I'll just show it one more time just in case. Yeah, make sure that you spin to kill the momentum. Run off as far as you can. Easy. Alright, once you get the spatula, pause the game and go scroll down to Mermalair and warp to defeat Prawn.
Oh, I'm quick.
And we're just gonna do Prawn skip now. Alright, now we're gonna go to Ballroom. Yes, we are. We're going to Ballroom now. And for Ballroom, I'm going to show you guys another video. So, enjoy. There are a couple ways of doing this, so check them out. BRC, or Ballroom Clip, is arguably the most important BFBB discovery of 2018. Today I'll show you two different ways of doing this trick. One method utilizes the L clipping tech while the other one uses the L bowling tech. I'll explain both of those in a bit. First I'll explain the L clipping method for BRC. Start by bowling this button to drop the ball, then bowl this wheel to turn the track. Stand in this spot and wait for the ball to roll onto the track that you just turned. As soon as the ball reaches the track, fully charge a bubble ball while holding down the button until it automatically fires, and aim it at this area of the wheel. Now the ball should be turned off the track and rolling toward you. Push the ball into the corner between this glass case and the pillar. Now just jump on the ball and walk forward slowly until you land on the ground inside of the ball. For this next part, carefully walk to the right and attempt to drag the ball with you. Do this very slowly as you learn it to avoid popping out of the ball. If you do pop out of the ball, you can just roll it back to the corner where you started and try again. Once you and the ball have reached Mr. Krabs, face the glass case and perform a single cruise boost. If you don't know how to cruise boost, you can check out my tutorial on it linked in the description, but you're just going to use the bubble bowl and the cruise bubble on the same frame against the case. If you're on the GameCube or Xbox version, a continuous winding sound will play if you've done it successfully. But just to clarify, you can still cruise boost on PS2 even though you can't hear the winding sound. And yes, cruise boosting and ballroom clip both work on every version of the game. Make sure that you walk toward the case, and while you're doing this, input the cruise bubble and bubble bowl at the same time, framed perfectly, to activate the cruise boost. If you're familiar with my cruise boost tutorial video, you don't have to do it twice. For this trick, you only have to do the inputs once. Now that your cruise boost is active, continue facing the case and move to the left and right to swing the ball. You're trying to build up the ball's momentum so when it clips away from you, you'll be forced inside the case. Once the ball starts swinging quickly, like so, stand next to Mr. Krabs during one of its swings to the right. The ball should then swing to the left, and as the ball looks like it's about to leave you, hold down the analog stick to walk toward the case and press the cruise bubble button as the ball leaves you. This should clip you into the glass case where you can collect the golden spatula. And you probably guessed by now that it's called L clipping because you press the L button to clip yourself in. Pretty simple, right? If you're having trouble with this method, you can use the elbow method instead. This method is 15 to 18 seconds faster than the one I just showed you, so if you find this one easier, you should definitely use it. Some people find it more difficult, however, so just use whichever one you feel comfortable with when you start doing runs. Some fundamental information on L bowling first. It's performed by using cruise boost inputs or pressing the bubble bowl and cruise bubble buttons on the same frame while not standing against flat ground. Doing so will cause SpongeBob to perform a bowl with one frame and no collision, meaning he can clip through the glass case on this frame if you're moving fast enough. So to set this up, just go to the corner and start walking down into the direction of this glass case. As you're walking down, line up the edge of the case with this pattern on the pillar over here. Now as you're walking down into the cage, and if you're lined up correctly, tap the jump button to perform a short jump, and you should be lodged between the case and the pillar like this. Now continue walking down into this area for a couple of seconds. Once you're deep into this area like this, quickly turn the control stick southwest and input cruise bubble and bubble bowl on the same frame. So what you're doing is flicking your control stick to force yourself out of this area. And as you're being forced out, use the L bowl tech to capture the speed at which you were forced out of the case. Because the bowling shot has forward momentum, and due to not having collision the instant you do it, it pushes you forward into the case, clipping you through. This method does sound easier on paper because it is less complex. However, it requires much faster and more precise inputs to perform. The first method I explained is a lot slower paced and more guaranteed, especially if you're new to speedrunning this game. In that case, 15 to 18 seconds won't make a difference at all when you first start. I'd say for now, just use the one you're better at. Just be honest with yourself regarding how often you perform either of them successfully, and choose based on that. One final thing, guys, if you really want to see this community grow, you should hit that like button for this video. It's a very simple thing that goes a long way for helping people find these guides. Yeah, so pretty much the one that doesn't use the ball is faster, only by like 20 seconds. If you struggle with it, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. You can always learn it at a later date. Anyway, 48 and 13, pause the game, scroll up to Jellyfish Fields, over to Patrick's Dilemma, and split.
Whoa,
and ignore the empty one there because I'm going to delete it before I upload the splits, but yeah. Alright, you know the drill, get a cruise boost off of here. Now, differently here, we're going to go this way this time, assuming your cruise boosts are full speed now. If you do a spin here, you can even like do a slam if you have to get over. But yeah, we're going on this side now. Yo, what's up, AJ? How you doing, man? It's real late over here doing some battle tutorials. So you can get a cruise boost off of here, and then just continue up. Press A to get rid of the text boxes, by the way, because if you press B, you're at risk of getting rid of your cruise boost. Now here, you can jump around this gate and jump into the spatula and turn the camera so you don't fall off without having to open the gate. Now you're stuck like this, kind of like pull off to this side. Pull back to the left and double jump. I'll show you that again. So you can like pull right, bash, and then pull left and then double jump. Again, you don't have to grab the ledge like that. You can also just like do it like this. Spin it. Yep. You can do it that way. Alright, so drain the lake again. You already know, guys. But this time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. You can run across the right side of these sand dunes to jump on top of the fountain, but be careful because if you go too far left, that happens. You get the little cutscene. So yeah, don't do that. Make sure you're staying farther to the right. So yeah, get a cruise boost off the bottom here. Oops. Jeez, I can't even cruise boost right now. Jeez. Alright, well, stay to the right and do 2 full jumps and a little bubble bounce, and you should be able to land on top of the fountain. Some more optimized movement for you. And now we're going to drain the lake, boys. We're going to drain the lake. Oops. Yo, Fielder, thank you for the 2 years, man. Hell yeah. 2 full years. No, we're not doing lag clipping in an intermediate tutorial, no. That shit's that's more advanced. I'll be in the advanced one for sure though. Lag clips. Alright, so you know the drill. Remember, if you're on GameCube or PS2, make sure you talk to Mrs. Puff if you're gonna walk it back. Just so you don't soft lock your game. You gotta upload files. You gotta upload sound files. Yep, it's gonna be on YouTube in a couple of days. Sometime next week. Figure out when. again, like I'm explaining this at an intermediate level, so I have to like dwell on like very simple things that, like, obviously you've learned by now, you know. So I feel like the rest of this tutorial is gonna be pretty self-explanatory. A lot of the stuff like Dutchman skip you could probably figure out just by doing your own movement. Same with downtown rooftops. They're both options. Yes, it was. It was already found. It was found 2 years prior to me joining the community. Alright, so pause the game, warp to Bikini Bottom, and split.
Oh, I'm quick.
On top of the pineapple. You can jump on top of this little sign here to skip this cutscene, but be careful. If you miss it, you can re-enable the hand by accident. If you do that, no problem. Just re-disable it on that taxi pad by doing the same thing you did in the beginning of the game. Alright, so... Sorry, stomachache. Right, cruise boost here. Honestly... Oh yeah, right. We're doing Tiki's Go Boom. Okay. Tiki's Go Boom with cruise boosting. You might have to refine your movement a little bit to do this, but you're just gonna jump on top of these things to activate all of them. Hit all the buttons. Now it's important to note that when you hit these buttons, go around this lamp just to set yourself up for it. Make sure you're facing away from the outside so you don't go off and out of bounds. Because if you go out of bounds past the red lines, you're going to re-enable the hand while you're already... while you're going to re-enable the hand in your run, and you're going to have to re-disable it again. So just try to stay away from that. Yeah, you can do a little bounce here. Let me show you that again, actually. So, the idea here is that you want to do double jump, bounce, but then when you land on the thing, you're gonna hold down the B button, I guess if you're on Xbox, whatever button it is for bouncing, just keep holding it down so you get the little glitched bounce so you can get over the gate. If you don't hold down the button that is used to bounce, you're not gonna get enough height to get over. So that normally look like this. See how it's not enough? You want to hold down the button to bounce. Like that. And just continue moving on. If you fail this, it's not a big deal. You can always just get back up this way. Oh, excuse me. You can get up this way. And then there's a little trick I can do here. Oh. Fell? That's cool. As I was saying, there's a trick you can do to get back up if you fall. Just like this. Like that. You can use that to get back up. Be careful not to destroy the cannon here. If you fall here, not a big deal. You can just bash to get up. Excuse me. You can just bash and bash again and jump over here to get back up. Just yeah, don't do that. If that happens, I guess you can just cruise boost out the box. Alright, you know what? Man, I'm tired. You can just go for that if you want to. That's another option too. Alright, downtown rooftops might be difficult for some people because of jump spacing, but I have faith that you guys will get it down. Make sure your cruise boost is fast, by the way. Oops, that was not jump in time. Yeah, you're doing this with cruise boosting now. Remember to use your spins to kill your downward momentum. So I do this, and then, oh, make sure you get the sock, by the way. Spin. I can't see anything. Just wait. Yeah. Aim for this outermost edge. This jump might take you a little bit of time to get, but it's not that bad. For this part here, I believe there's like an easier way of doing this, but maybe not. Alright, well, anyway, for this part, actually there is an easier way of doing this. You can go up here. Yeah, just like that. Okay. So when you get up here, jump over to these buildings here. You can like run up this and dash up to here and slam. Now for this one, this jump is a little bit more tight. It might take a little bit of time to get, but what you want to do is kind of like face this, do a spin to kill your downward momentum, and run off absolutely as far as possible. Not that far, because now I'm screwed. But you can easily get back down here and go again, so not a big deal. This is the one that's going to be a real challenge, I think. This one's not that bad, but that one is going to take you some time to get down, I think. This is probably one of the harder tricks that you'll do for jump spacing in this run. Oh, crap. It might take you some time to get down, but you should be able to get it pretty smoothly after a lot of practice. Now, here, what you want to do here is before you touch the spatula, zoom in your camera like this. On the GameCube version, it's the Z button. On Xbox, it's you press down on the control stick. It's like a little click you do. But yeah, you want to get the zoom in here so you get stuck like this. And once you do that, jump on top of this button here and press the Y button to bash up and get into the lighthouse. But yeah, that trick is kind of hard. The bash. I mean, not the bash, my bad. Not the bash. The rooftops jump with the mega spacing, the huge gap you gotta cross. That one's kind of hard, and it might take you some time to get down, but I'm sure you'll be fine. As long as your cruise boost is fast enough. You gotta make sure your cruise boost is fast enough to get it, but yeah.
You've just met the Sponginator.
Alright. Kelp Forest time. So pause the game, warp to on top of the Chum Bucket, and split because you have 58 spatulas.
Oh,
and 18
I'm quick.
Sucks. Alright, Kelp Forest. Honestly, the only thing here I could really say you should try to go for is like outside of here you can bowl into the taxi pad and sometimes get an animation skip. Might be worth going for if you think it's worth going for. But yeah, it's gonna pretty much be pretty similar, honestly. Pretty similar. You can do like a little double bounce on the sleeve if you want to save a little bit of time. Alright, okay, so here's one thing you should do. So we're gonna get a cruise boost off of this box before going in. Now that you're here, kind of get stuck against this thing. What you're gonna do is jump and try to land on the left side of the staircase and bash and like full circle all the way back around. Obviously, I just missed it trying to explain it, but yeah, this trick is way easier than I'm making it look. Trust me. So I guess you can just kind of like set it up like this. You can get stuck on the side of the staircase like this even. Press the Y button, turn around, and jump like that. This is a good crutch until you get used to it. It's a good handicap. Yeah, it's a good crutch. So you can just like bash, immediately turn left and come back. Yeah, do that with cruise boosting. Touch the U-win thing. Oh crap, I forgot. Okay, when you enter this level, collect this spatula first. And then after the spatula, go over here, get the cruise boost. Once you do this, you get the time challenge, jump in the box, get the trigger, and then you jump back in. Now what you're gonna do here is turn the camera, and it looks like you're gonna fall off, but you won't. Pull back, and when you touch the spatula, you should turn into this gate, and you'll be right in front of it when you get out of it. So yeah, there you go. It's gonna be a pretty fast tutorial because a lot of this stuff we already covered. By the way, the alternating menu thing works with the side as well. You can go side to side like this with alternating inputs from camera to control stick, so keep that in mind. We're almost done, guys. You're almost upgraded. You're almost upgraded gamers with the new route. 64 and 18, pause the game, scroll down to SpongeBob's Dream, and go to Squidward's Dream. Okay, so...
Oh, I'm quick.
let me just do it once, and I'll show you how it's done, okay? You gotta get this cruise boost within like a few tries. If you miss it within a few tries, maybe you might want to reload the level to make it easier, but... yeah, okay, here's what we're doing. Alright, just rewatch that if you need to. I'm going to show it again. So, Squidward's Dream. You have to, again, remember, because people forget, you can only use your spin once before you descend. So if I do this, let me try it. I'm trying to demonstrate it. If you do this, you're not going to be able to get to it, okay? It's not completely random. It's actually just how the game works. If you use your spin before jumping on a trampoline, it expends the spin. You can't use a spin, jump on a trampoline, use a spin again. See that? It doesn't work. You have to land on a note before you use another spin. Now, here it doesn't matter too much because you have the bounce to catch you, but see that? You still don't have the spin. So be very mindful that you can only use your spin once before you land on a note. It has to be a note. How do you know when your cruise boost is fast enough? All right, I'll just demonstrate that now because it's important here as well. Okay, so you see this cruise boost I just got here? If I can pull back on it like this, so I can wiggle the control stick back and moonwalk. If you can moonwalk, it means it's not fast enough. Like I can do a moonwalk here. Now I'm gonna get another one. See how I can't pull back now? If I do this, I can't pull back. It means it's fast. So I'm gonna show the Squid's Dream one more time. If you miss a bunch of cruise boosts, you're probably gonna miss the cycle. But just keep trying until you get it. Honestly, muscle memory is gonna help you a lot here. especially the trumpet jump, you want to aim for the crevice. Yeah. You want to aim for the little, like, the loop. Closer to the right side than the left side, though. Definitely closer to the right side. Right here. And what I usually do is, like, I'll brush against it and push to the leftish. Just ever so slightly so he has more of a chance to land on it. You got that? You can get creative with it to, you know, make it work. This level allows for a lot of creativity, so it's a lot of fun. Just get used to it, you'll figure it out. Squid's Dream is a super awesome level, and since intermediate players shouldn't really struggle too much with it, you should be fine with it. But once you get that spatula, you're going to pause the game, go to the Across the Dreamscape spatula, and get a cruise boost off this box. Bash. And do the same thing you did before in the other tutorial, just get the spatula, yeah. I wasn't aiming for the rock, by the way. You don't need to do that in this category. So, 66 and 18. Pause the game. Warp to Mr. Krabs and split.
Oh, I'm quick.
All right. So now we're going to Graveyard. Now you can actually get a cruise boost off of here if you want. Just make sure that you bowl before you get past the chest, though, because you don't want to get stuck in the cutscene and go out of bounds and get locked with the hand. All right, so Graveyard strats. I'm gonna teach you something a little bit different today. I don't know if I'm gonna regret this, but if you can't do it, just stick to what you were doing before. I'm gonna teach you how to do the pole boost. I'd recommend zooming in just so you can see it better, especially on Xbox 360. It's better if you zoom in. Again, just like a normal cruise boost, but kind of make it so you're running off this way, because again, it's a much smaller surface, so you're gonna have to spend a lot of time getting this. But just I say zoom in, pay attention to when you're moving to the left, make sure it's not too, it's a little bit subtle, it's not like too extreme, and just do it. You should be able to get it now. This might take a lot of practice. If you can't do it, just stick with what you were doing before, no big deal. But what I usually do is a little short hop onto this chest, full hop onto this little anchor thing, and then a double jump spin to the tiki here. Now you can go over here and hit this button, bash up, oh, excuse me, I hit the wrong one. Jump off of this tiki, this one, yeah. You can go over here and get this sock. Now, once you're here, you can kind of get stuck on this rock, do a spin to kill your downward momentum. If you mash the L button and if you're too far to you might be too far to the right or too far to the left, you gotta be just right. See how I'm too far now? If I'm too far here, I'm not gonna get it. You wanna be facing just right. I would say run toward this green button out in the distance there, and it should work, alright? So just run toward the green button when you're perfectly stable. Use this to hit this thing. Turn your camera a little bit. Now, what might happen here is you might get pushed off. Don't be alarmed, you might end up closer to the, here. And you should be able to outrun the chuck if you get pushed there. And make sure that you turn your camera so you don't die or drown when you get the spatula here. Again, I just recommend doing this version. But instead of going to the right, no, you know what? Yeah, just go to the right. The right's pretty much the same thing anyway. Just go to the right, it's fine. You gotta be careful here. If you're gonna go for this strat, do not grab it. Be cautious when you grab this, because you can fall off or get blue screened. Blue screen being you get stuck in this little crevice here, and you get up warped because the game doesn't know where to put you, and you gotta restart the level by going back to the top of the entrance area. but I recommend just doing it this way. Zoom in the camera and just grab the spatula like that. You should grab it like that. Yeah. So you jump down. You jump down from the cliff, zoom in the spatula, and touch it just like that. You can unzoom if you want to. And next area. Alright, I'm going to teach you guys wall jump skip now. But first I teach you how to manual cruise boost. So again, like if any of these strats are not coming easily to you, just revert back to what you were doing before and learn them at another date. Manual cruise boosting is like cruise boosting, but you need to press the L button in between. So see how if you don't, you just go over the edge. You need to manually like that. You need to manually cancel it. So much like this. And you should be able to get a cruise boost. If you can't get this, don't worry about it. Just do the wall jumps and get it over here like you were before. Okay, so wall jump skip. You can get a little like if you land in the corner here, you can get the ability to bash if you just land in the corner like that. Now the next thing you do is you want to jump up and grab the sledge, bash, and slam here. Pretty simple movement. I'll show you it again. This is probably the easiest way to do this, I would say. Mash the Y button to get up there, grab the ledge, or not. If you get hit like that, it is possible to recover it like you just saw there. But you can also recover it this way, I think. No? Okay. Well, if not, you can just get another cruise boost, no big deal. It's been a while since I've done this, sorry. Get a grab. Bash, slam. And then get rid of your cruise boost too. Thanks Logan for the 70 bits. Alright man, see you next time. We're almost done too. But you'll be able to watch on YouTube, don't worry. Okay. Again, this is probably just, you know what? Well, I'll teach you a faster method of this too. If you stand on here, you can bash up to this platform. That's the new strat. Just do that, practice it till you get it. I'm not gonna do it again. You can see clearly how to do it. And then you can come over here, jump off the little, jump off the little railing here. You can get that. Now, what you can do here now is, we're doing Dutchman skip in this run, so you can turn in and grab the spatula so you can get pushed into the chest. Now, make sure you get rid of your cruise boost here, because sometimes, if you don't do that, you can get, like, when you hit this button here, what'll happen is sometimes you get pushed into the chest and you clip in. So you don't want that. Make sure you get rid of the bowling. Use a bowling ball to get rid of the cruise boost so you don't clip into the chest by accident. But yeah, I'm going to teach you guys Dutchman skip after this. Next spatula. It's an intermediate tutorial, Ryan. It's not meant to be advanced. Advanced tutorials are going to cover the more advanced stuff. Alright. So now it's time to... By the way, the alternate strat there saves 0.3 seconds, so it's not like it's even saving a lot of time. Dutchman skip is pretty simple. I don't think I covered this in the last tutorial, but you want to cruise boost over here by this this plank. The plank is where you want to go, so cruise boost here. Now you can get up here, and if you focus on this little indented area here, remember with cruise boosting, if you're being pushed in a direction, right? So even if you pull to the left or right, you're still relatively facing the same way. See that? Even if I'm pulling to the left or right, like I am now, like this, I'm still facing relatively the same way. So we're going to use this to our advantage here when we hike up this wall, right? So you're gonna face this little wood chip, this little white area of the wood chip, or the lighter area. I'm gonna, here, bash, pull right, excuse me. Bash, pull right, bash again, pull left, slam. See that? Alright, let's do that again. So, get stuck here to set yourself up. Bash, pull right, bash, pull left, slam. Again, show you like this, okay? You probably can't even see that. But honestly, it's pretty obvious what I'm doing here. Where people get tripped up the most is just pulling to the left. You have to pull to the left after you get up here, but not too early, otherwise that happens. You need to time it so you're past this little area here. You need to time it so you're already up and then pull left. If you pull left too early, you're gonna get your head bashed on this thing here. So don't do that. Make sure that you pull left after you're already out. And if you don't pull it soon enough, you're not going to make the jump. So you got to do it just the right time. Now this part's really easy, I'd say. Get stuck in this little wood chip here. Wow. Alright, what is happening? Okay. Get stuck here on this little part right here. Now, face this little wood chip. You'll see where I'm going to land. Kind of set your camera like this. You see how that little beam that the water is reflecting off of right now? You see how this wood chip that I'm against right now is kind of lined up with the little triangular indent that I'm facing with the wood behind it? So you're aiming for that. But what you're going to do is tap the A button so lightly, like the jump button. Tap the jump button so very lightly that you just barely press it, and mash the Y button and then slam. Just like that. It's really, really easy. This is like the easiest setup you could possibly do for this skip. But yeah, just stick here, tap, mash Y, slam. And from here, you just want to make your way up to this wood chip, this wood beam. Now, you see this tanker in the background? This shit that's kind of laying on its side with the 2 rocks next to it and 2 tombstones. You see that shit? There are 3 smokestacks. You want to cover 2 of the smokestacks, leave the 1, and you're going to do a full jump and a spin in the direction just barely left of that 1 smokestack. So you ready? Jump, spin to the left of it, and you should touch the you should touch the trigger to activate to finish the final fight and grab the spatula. This is going to take you some time to get down, I think, but it's not going to be that bad because as an intermediate player, your movement's probably still like pretty okay so far. So you should be able to get it down. I think at least quicker than most of the tricks in this run. But yeah, that's it. That's it for Dutchman's. We're gonna go to Patrick now. Hit that split key,
quick.
and we're gonna finish up the run now. These are all things you've seen before, so I don't have to go over it. It's all you know. You've seen it before, and yeah, I'm really gonna enjoy making these route update tutorials because, as you can see, it only took us 1 hour and 42 minutes to get through this one. That's fast for a tutorial. It's just because I've already explained so many of these things before to you guys. That you now have... all you have to do is just learn the new stuff, so it's easy. It's easy to get into it. The one thing I do want to go over here, actually, is this. So, instead of starting the final fight, where you do it like this, to start off, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to turn to the left as soon as we get in and detonate the cruise bubble on his hand. That's all we're doing here. If you do it at the right angle, at the correct angle, I should say, like to the side, but very so slightly back, regardless of which hand he uses, you should be able to get it. But as soon as you get that, you got to face forward and go for another one. And go for his bottom half. And make sure, like, sometimes it slides off like that. You can press the L button to detonate it on the button, like you did for this one. So you want to detonate both of them just to avoid any mishaps. Yeah, I wanted to go over that because I think that's a fair strat to go over for intermediate gameplay. And I just missed Robo. Oh, I did not. Okay, well, there you go. See, it's free, boys. It's free. Now, one final thing I actually want to go over. I lied. There's one more thing I want to go over. pay attention to this, to what happens when I go over this platform here. There's going to be a ball that spawns from the Duplicatotron, and I want you to pay attention to whether it spawns on the left side or the right side of the robot. So which side did it spawn on? This is literally fucking Dora the Explorer. It spawned on the right. So if it spawns on the right, what you're going to do is hit the Duplicatotron like you usually do and get launched down. Now, you don't have to hit the Duplicatotron if it does spawn on the right. You don't have to. You can just kind of do this. Sometimes that works. That didn't work, so yeah. You don't have to hit it, but I recommend you do hit it. Just hit the Duplicatotron, do it the normal way if you get it to spawn on the right. Now, if it spawns on the left, this is a new skip that I'm going to teach you called tartar sauce skip. If you run into this and get hit by it as it spawns, you can get launched down here and save a couple of seconds. See that? Okay. So tartar sauce skip, there's a 50% chance that it spawns on the left side. And if you're feeling ballsy, you can just go for it and get hit by it. So again, if it spawns on the right side, you can't do this because it spawns too late. It spawns too late for it to actually save time. But if it spawns on the left side, again, you can keep redoing it until you get it. I remember back in the day, this is taking me way back to the old days when I used to practice this shit. So, it's going to eventually spawn on the left. But honestly, it's just going to take a feel for it. It saves 2 seconds if you get it. It's kind of a cool optimization. And it eventually works. It's again, like, robot spawns are RNG. Yeah, so just go right in front of it. It's going to take you some time to get it down, but it saves 2 whole seconds. It's pretty sick looking, and you can jump down on the trampoline without facing it. If you practice it enough, you can just jump on the trampoline as it's rising up. If you do a full jump onto it down there, you can just jump onto it as it's rising up, and instead of having to turn around and wait for it to rise up, you can jump on it as it's rising up. You can practice that too. Alright, so now you're officially an intermediate BFBB runner if you've watched this tutorial and you've already done some runs with the beginner one. You should be able to learn all the intermediate strats. This is going to give you a nice base for the for leading into the advanced route later. I'm going to make the advanced route tutorial in maybe a few weeks when I see enough people have learned this route. I'm going to pay attention to like the community Discord and speedrun.com and whatnot to see if people are utilizing the strats from this route. And when I feel like people are ready for it, I'm going to upload the advanced tutorial, which is probably going to cover... I might do like an advanced part 1 and an advanced part 2. But if I don't, I'm just going to include lag clips and stuff like that in the next one. I'm not going to include crazy optimizations that save like 1 second and are really difficult, like the 1 frames and stuff like that. But I am going to try to make it as close as possible to the world record route without going overboard with the insane strats. So I'm going to make a route that is reasonable to do if you've been playing the game for a few months non-stop and you've been grinding. You have several hundred hours in it, like you're ready to do lag clips. Again, like, don't worry about lag clips right now. In the future, I will upload the advanced tutorial that explains them thoroughly. If you still can't get lag clips then, don't worry about it. Again, I want to make an advanced route tutorial that does not rely on lag clips, but it probably will because any percent is pretty lag clip heavy, so we'll see what happens with that in the future. For now, guys, just worry about the intermediate tutorial, advancing from the beginner tutorial to the intermediate tutorial. If you watch this video and you're confused, it's probably because you didn't watch the first one. Again, this tutorial is designed for people who are actively running the game, who have learned from the beginner route and have been working on it for the past couple of weeks or so. And once they're ready, they can learn this. They can learn from this, and it should be pretty easy to follow if you've been playing the game and you've been learning it on your own as well. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, as always. If you want to watch me do runs live, come to twitch.tv/shift, and I'm gonna upload this video to YouTube sometime this week. So, yeah, definitely Keep following the tutorials. I'm probably gonna make several new tutorials this week just to keep the ball rolling on the learning process for people, help them get into the game more easily. But yeah, this is definitely an important stepping stone because it transitions very nicely into the next route. I picked certain spatulas so it is easier to transition to stuff like Drain the Lake Clip and Art Skip and things like that. And Sponge Museum as well. So remember to leave a like. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Alright, bros. So if you made it to the end of the stream, thank you for sticking around and supporting. We have over 500 viewers at 4:30 in the morning doing a tutorial route. So we were at 700 earlier. So we're doing all right. We're doing a-okay right now. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna end, and I'm gonna try to get some stuff uploaded. I'm gonna upload an update video tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm gonna wake up early and get that uploaded. Thank you, Ray, for the 75, and thank you so much, man. Thanks for hanging out, guys. You guys have been so supportive lately. I can only see it getting better from here, honestly. How low can this route get realistically? I feel like this route should be able to almost get sub 1. It should be able to get sub. This route should be able to get sub 1. It's not that slow. I feel like it can. But I'm gonna advertise the advanced route as like, hey, you're ready to go for sub 1. Do this, okay? That's the plan. Because the goal is to get as many people to get sub 1 as possible. That's the goal. Anyway. Oh my god, Buka PB'd? What the hell? He PB'd in 120 star. So we're gonna raid our man, my boys. I'm gonna raid Buka. I'm gonna get these videos up, man. I'm gonna do some more individual tutorials on stuff like lag clips and shit like that, so keep them coming, boys. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 or 8 p.m. with more battle runs for any %. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure you join our Discord server if you want to get notifications. If you don't want to be left behind because Twitch doesn't notify you, hop in there. I'll notify you when I go live. Thank you, boys. Love y'all. See you next time. And yeah, I would assume they would add that because it's part of the game. It's iconic. Give them a good raid, boys. Peace out.